Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video today. I actually wanted to do two separate ones. And I did not get off work until almost 12 o'clock today. And that is really a long day for me. So I had to go to the grocery store and I went ahead and got something to eat. And I am what you call extremely exhausted. So what I'm going to try to do is the two subjects that I wanted to break up into two videos, combine it into one video, and hopefully I remember everything that I wanted to talk about. So if I forget something, I'll make another video probably tomorrow or something. Alright, well the first part of the video I want to talk about is currency transaction report. Now yesterday before I went to bed, I'm just cleaning off this table, there was a lady who had posted a TikTok video talking about how Discover Card had asked for her permission to let the IRS see her transitions on her credit card, what she was doing. And she said that she wasn't going to allow that to happen. I don't know why it's so dark. Let me turn on another light. And she was talking about how she was closing her account and was tearing up her card online. And that looks a little bit better, hopefully. I think so. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So, I was looking at it and I was thinking to myself, well, I know exactly what's going on here. All right, so I'm going to try to explain it to everybody where you can understand what's going on. When you deposit money in a bank, they have to track how much money you deposit in the bank in a 24-hour. Same with casinos. Now, more or less with the casinos, you're not really noticing it as much as if you go to the bank. Because normally when you put $10,000 in bank, let's say someone wrote you a check, someone died, it was an insurance policy, you're cashing, and let's say it's $10,500. Well, of course, they're going to tell you it's a hold for so many days and all this other stuff. Well, it's because, number one, they want to draw the interest off of it. And number two, they're doing a CTR on you. And what a CTR is, it's currency transaction report. This tracks how much money goes in or comes out. So if you're paying the bank, putting money in the bank that's over $10,000, that is money coming in. If you pull out of your account to get money out, that's a CTR of $10,000 coming out. That's in a transaction report. Now, if you do $5,000 in and $5,000 out, that's two separate transactions. That's only $5,000. So even though it equals 10, it's not. You're not going to do a CTR on that. It has to be $10,000 in or $10,000 out in the same 24-hour period. Or you could do it on Monday, one, and then do one on Tuesday. Then you'll have a CTR on Monday. Then you have a CTR on Tuesday. Now, when they do these currency transaction reports, I can't show you what it looks like. I might be able to pull it up on my phone. But they fill everything out. They don't ask for your permission or anything like that. They just fill it out. And then they turn everything in to the IRS. That's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. Let's just do it this way. Currency transaction report paperwork. Let's see. All right. So it is on here. That's what I just did. Is all you have to do. You can do it on Google. I don't really like Google. I don't want to download it. I just want to look at it. Why can't I just look at it? You crazy thing. You gotta love these things. It's like it wants you to download it. I don't want to download it. And now it's just black. I don't know if it'll. I'll just download it and I'll just take it off my phone because it's just irritating. So I just want you to see what the report looks like, if it will cooperate with me here. And we have no idea what this thing's doing. We go into my gallery. Did it download there? It didn't download there. Let me go look in my files. Oh, for the Lord, I tell you, this day has just been something ridiculous. Okay, did download here. Let me see if I can open this thing up. And that's fine. Can we just open this thing up? All right, we're going to try to do this on my phone and show you what this looks like. if my phone will cooperate. All right, this is kind of small, but I'm going to try to put it up here where you can see it. And, all right, you see what it looks like? Okay, this is your currency transaction report. This is everything that gets filled out. There is nothing on there that you sign, okay? They're not even going to tell you one was done on you, okay? So you're not going to have any idea that this was filled out on you. But I know it's not perfect, and I apologize, but I wanted you to see what one looked like. Hopefully you can see it pretty good. You go back down here. See if I can blow it up a little bit. See what that looks like. Okay, see? Looks like tax paperwork, doesn't it? All right. So now that you kind of see what this looks like, I'm going to blow it up where I can read it. Okay, so what you're going to do is they're going to put down your name. They're going to put down your business. They're going to put down your address, your city, your state, your zip code, your occupation, your social security number, which your bank's got all this, right? So do casinos. They got all this, trust me. Okay? Then it's going to say individual's last name. Oh, that's the second one. It's different from the one above. Okay. On part 2, where it says amount, type of transaction, it says total cash in, total cash out. Remember I told you have cash in or cash out. Then you have foreign currency that you do. You have wire transfers. You've got deposits, and then you got any other stuff. Then it says financial institution where the transaction took place. That's where they're going to fill it out. So let's say you did it at the WAPA Bank. Well, then it would put the name of the WAPA Bank, their address, their city, their state. The person doing it has to fill everything out. They have to sign it. They have to put their social, everything on there. Okay. And like if there's more people involved, like if you had $5,000 and your friend had $5,000, but technically it's all your money and you're both going up there at the same time trying to cash it because you're trying to get around this, well, that's when they're going to do multiple persons. So they're going to get your friend's name and everything like that. Okay, all of this gets signed and it gets sent to the IRS. So hopefully that explains that to you. So reason I'm telling you this is what popped in my head. So what Discover Card was telling this lady is that they're going to do a currency transaction report on her. And they're going to track her money. So let's say she goes and she buys a brand new refrigerator for, let's say, $2,000. Then she bought a washer and dryer. That was another $2,000 together. So that's at 4. Then she went and got some carpeting. Let's say that was $3,000. You see where I'm going? And she did all of these transactions. Maybe she went and got something to eat. Maybe she went and got her hair done and her nails done. All of that transaction, if it equaled 10,001 cents, that was cash out that she spent out. And let's say next week she gets all this money back because she was waiting on this money to come in. So she's got her, she makes her payment onto that credit card. So she writes a check and pays that money back. Well, that's coming back to him. So you can see, so that would be 2 separate transaction reports. Normally this is not done on credit cards as far as I know, but the banks want to, not the banks, the IRS, government, Nancy Pelosi, all want to know what you're doing with your money. Even though it's your money, you're doing it, you're paying interest on it, whatever, they want to know everything you're doing. So if your credit card company sends you a letter or they call you and they tell you that they want your permission because the IRS is just wanting to know what's going on. Oh, and they say, oh, it's no big deal. It doesn't mean anything. Either they're not telling you what it means or they don't know. And it's probably they don't really know because whoever's calling you probably doesn't even know about this paperwork because that's not going to be the person that's doing it. It's going to be somebody that has to go through every day. They probably run a report. I used to run a report at the end of the night when I was in the casino and slots. And it would pull me like a whole screen of people that had large amounts over $10,000. And then what I had to do is I had to look and see what all they did. I had to look and see if they were playing table games. I had to see if they were playing slot machines. I had to see if they hit a jackpot. I had to see if they cashed a check, if they did a credit card advance, and I had to split all that stuff up and do put it in a report. I used to do this at one time when I was a CTR clerk. That's why I know a lot about this stuff. That was a pain in the ass job. Oh my gosh, somebody calling me, and it's a spam, so you know what, I'm just going to turn it off. So that's how come I know so much about the paperwork. So what I am telling you is nothing secret, nothing sneaky. What I'm telling you is actually what this report is. So just be aware that if your bank tells you that and they're just wanting the permission, what they're telling you is that they're going to start tracking everything you do. Now, we do know that the IRS wants to know anything over $500. Now, that's not going to go on this report. But what that means is once you get $500, it's like an alarm goes off, and then they start really watching what you're doing. So if you're doing $500 or maybe, let's say, $800 every day, then they're going to want to know, well, where's this money coming from? Or what are you doing with this money? Which is none of their business. But that's how they can track it. And then what they do with this report, you have an auditor, and they do your taxes, and they say, well, you got a CTR report. So they start saying, well, you did this and this. They're saying, well, how come they were able to buy all this stuff, pay this credit card off? I don't get it. I'm seeing what they make. I don't see anything. Then what they do, they come over with a scope and a microscopic lens, and they, you know, tell you to bend over and spread your cheeks, and then they go up the way, just dissecting you all the way, looking to see every crack and cranny to see what you're doing. You know, maybe you're making money on the side selling lemonade down, you know, at the corner. I don't know, but that's what this is about. That's why they want to know what's going on with your credit card. So I hope I answered that as best as I could. I just want people to be aware of it. You don't want them tracking and starting to watch everything you're doing. If a red flag goes off, get rid of your credit card. I mean, most people are saying, you know, but I need credit, and I don't make enough money, and I need this credit card to do this. You know what? We're getting ready to switch over to something totally brand new. And why do you want to be stuck into things that we're doing now when you know in the future we're not going to do it? We're not going to have credit cards. You're not going to need it. Get used to it. Pay the bill off. Cut the credit card up. Let it go. Let it go. Get rid of them. Just get rid of those credit cards. So if there's any questions on that, like I said, just Google search it. Just say currency transaction report paperwork. And then you'll see a PD file, which on my phone it made me download, and you can just take it off. But look at it, and then you can see what all they're filling out, and then you'll see where there's no place for you to sign. You don't get a copy of it, so you never know this is happening to you. So you've probably had some done in your life and you didn't even realize it. Maybe that might be why a couple of times you had agents knocking on your door, wanting to go through all your paperwork, asking you 9 million questions. That could possibly be it. It doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong because they do this on you. There's a whole nother report for that. That's like money laundering and things like that. That's a whole different report. But that has nothing to do with the credit cards. So if you have any questions on that, you would like me to elaborate more, message me here, email me, get a hold of me on Telegram, and I'll see if I can explain it better. Or you just ask me the question and then I'll give you the answer. It's just simple. That's just the way it is. Banks have been doing it forever and ever and ever. Casinos have been doing it for a really long time. And no, I am not going to teach you how to circumvent having this done. So don't even ask me that question, because this is my answer for that. Don't gamble. Okay? You don't need to gamble. If you can't set aside money, let's say if you go to the movies, you know how much the movie is going to cost, how much the snacks in the movie is going to cost. If you're going to go out to eat before or after, you're going to go have a couple of drinks, you already know how much you're going to spend. And I'm just going to put a number out there. Let's say $200. So you've taken $200. That's your night out with your date, movies, eat, drinks, snacks, whatever. Okay, that's it. Okay, then that's what you do when you go to the casino. You're like, okay, how much is tonight's outing? And you say, well, it's $250. What you do is you only bring $250. You don't bring an extra $100. Don't bring a credit card. Don't bring a checkbook. Bring what you are willing to lose. Don't think you're going to win. Get that out of your head. Look at it as entertainment. Look at it as, this is what I am leaving in this building tonight. Just like you do when you go to the movies. You're leaving that money in there. You're maybe taking out a smile or crying when you leave the movie, but you're not walking out the door with anything physical, and that's how you need to look at gambling. So don't ask me how to circumvent, because I'm telling you right now how to not get yourself in that predicament. Don't spend more than you can. Don't go in there thinking you're going to win enough and you're going to buy a house or you're going to retire on an island. Don't think that way. Just think as an evening out. Then, if you hit a jackpot, you're most probably not going to hit like the Wheel of Fortune and make, $8 million. And that does happen. I've worked. I've seen it. I've been there, witnessed it. It does happen. But it doesn't happen all the time. And the chances of it happening to you are just, very slim. So let's just think of it that way. Hitting a large jackpot, then that's where you need to figure out with your financial advisor. Think, only a word of advice on that one is don't jump up and down. Don't scream. Don't bring attention to you, because they already see that light going off. They already hear the sound going off through the casino, letting them know that there's a jackpot. So everybody in the casino knows someone hit a jackpot. You start screaming, you start jumping up and down, everybody in your area is going to come see what the shit you just hit. And they're going to see, oh, wow, he just hit the Wheel of Fortune. He just won $5 million. Now, everybody there knows you just made $5 million. Whether if you kept your mouth shut, hopefully nobody would have noticed. They just would have just thought you hit like a regular jackpot, because you can hit regular jackpots as well. And that's just the way you play it. This way, when you get paid, which takes a long time, Gaming Commission has to be called, because Gaming Commission has to come in. They have to review the thing to make sure that you actually hit that spin button, that it was you, that you weren't doing anything. They have to check the machine to make sure nothing's been altered on it, damaged, fiddled with, anything like that. Then once the Gaming Commission has gone through it with a slot tech, and they come to the conclusion that it was you that hit that spin button, it's good for you. Then when it's that much money, it's not technically the casino that's paying you. It's Wheel of Fortune, not Vanna White. I want to say it's Williams. It's been so long since I've been to casino. So the Williams, those people, they come and they're gonna sign all. You're gonna sign all that stuff. Now, so it can take an hour. It can take 2 hours. I've seen it take 4 hours before. So the best bet to do is when the slot person comes over and they're looking at you, which they're not supposed to tell you that you won that. All they can say is, okay, give me just a second. Let me go ahead and get your driver's license, your social security card. I'm going to go ahead and start the paperwork. We have to call the Gaming Commission on this. Soon as I get a call and I find out how long it's going to take, I'm going to come back over and we're going to, proceed. And then what that person does is they'll call Gaming Commission. Well, the supervisor does, the shift manager. And gaming says, well, I'm at so-and-so casino. I'm an hour away. I'm tied up here with this. I'll be there as soon as I can. I'll call you. Then what you have to do is you go back and you tell that patriot there that, they're at the so-and-so casino. They're tied up with another issue. They said that they're about an hour away. They're going to call me and let me know when they're heading. Would you like to go get something to eat? Would you like a drink? Would you like to get up and go to the bathroom? Because they can't do anything. No one else is going to be able to get your money. So if you're like, you know what, I think I want to go to the buffet and go ahead and get something to eat, then what they're going to do is they're going to have security come by, stand by the machine. Nobody's going to touch your machine. They already know who you are. They've got your driver's license, all this stuff. They're getting ready to pull up all the paperwork, everything like that. They're probably going to get you a host. Host will know exactly where you are. They may even comp you a meal or something like that. But that's just so you understand why it takes so long. You win $1,000, you win $1,200, something like that. It doesn't take as long because all of those steps don't have to happen. So that is paying jackpots in a casino 101 and understanding a CTR. So if you have any other questions that pertain to that, I'll answer them. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you how to cheat. I'm not going to tell you anything like that. So don't even ask me about that. You just want to understand more of the paperwork, and like that, I can do that. All right. Moving on from that subject, and let's move on to the next subject I wanted to talk about. Now, on my Telegram page, there is a Dr. Taylor Marshall. He's a Catholic, and he is like I'm going to just say like a teacher. And there was a video where he has an exorcist, a Catholic priest exorcist, on his show. And I do go down the road about demons and evil and possessions a lot, because one of my visions that I had is that I saw people that were possessed. And I just saw people doing some really crazy things. And if I can find that video, I do have it. A lot of people thought it was funny because I talked about people throwing their dog shit from their yard over the fence into your yard. I mean, it's just, people are just going to do the most crazy things. And it was in a vision. Well, everybody laughed and thought it was funny, but they understood the point I was making. And they said, yeah, that's funny. But it's really not funny. So, this video explains actually what's going on with that. And he talks about how you can have a demon that's attached to you, that's kind of stuck with you, or then talks about being full-blown possession. And I've talked about that. The difference between having one attached to you is like having streaks of bad luck, things just not going right in your life, meeting the wrong people, constantly losing your car keys, something like that. It could be something that's been attached to you that you've either picked up or someone summoned it to you, like with witches. So the priest actually talks about where he went to help a woman. Another priest wasn't feeling well, so he asked him to go over and see if this person needed to be evaluated for an exorcism. And he came to the conclusion that the woman was doing it to herself. So in the video, he clearly says that he told the woman that there was nothing he could do for her unless she was going to change her ways. Well, apparently, I guess whatever was attached to her or possessed her didn't like that, so she cursed him, and he ended up with gout. And he said he had the worst case of gout ever. And he had remembered another man whom they had asked if he would just come to the hospital and pray over the man. And he said, well, that's not what he does. He's an exorcist. And he said, well, can you just pray over him? So he picked one of the verses that was one of the things that you read for an exorcism, and he just used that. And he said the man's, we'll just say cancer. I'm not sure if it was cancer or something else, but he had something going on, and it had gone away. And that's when he realized that you can be hexed, you can have a curse on you where it can cause your body to fail. And he thought that that was just remarkable. The guy went to the doctor, said there was nothing else wrong. He said a few months later, the guy had called him again and said he was back in the hospital and he had to do it again. And he told the guy, he says, there's something that's doing this to you and you just need to find out what's going on. So it could be somebody that was... he pissed off in his neighborhood, could be a co-worker. You'd be surprised how many people use black magic to do these things. These are hexes, these are curses. So that's another thing that can happen to somebody. And I was learning more and listening. I know a lot because the energy source has shown me and explained so much to me. And then some of it, I just for some odd reason know about it. I am no way, no how an exorcist. I am not a demonologist. I am definitely not no Lorraine Warren. Let's just clear that out. I have already been told by energy source that I can hold back negative energy. I can hold it. Like if you and I need to get somewhere, I can hold it and get us out of there, but I would not be able to get that out of you. I am not supposed to be exorcising any demons. So that's not what I am. That's not what I'm going to do. So don't email me asking me if I can perform an exorcism, because that's not what I do. at all. I was explained that is not my thing, that I have something else that I need to do, but I am not an exorcist. So, but I'm just giving you some of the knowledge so you can kind of understand what's going on. And you're probably going, all right, Jackie, why do we need to know this? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. It's all of the different things that the cabal, the Illuminati, the Khazarian Mafia, the deep state, whatever you want to call them, has done to us. It has opened up doors. Not only has it opened up doors, they brought down frequency levels, which God, the energy source, is at the highest frequency. It's way up there, right? Your evil vibrates at the lower frequencies, like something like that, where like God would be like, oh, I'm just doing some kind of example so you could kind of see what I'm saying. So you have your lower, which you don't want to be there. When you're in your lower frequencies, that's your depression. That's where you can be sick. You'll notice when people drink a lot or on drugs, they're vibrating at a lower frequency. Now that makes it easier for an evil entity to either attach themselves to them or just possess them. And he was explaining how different things can cause that. So I'm going to, his name was Dr. Taylor Marshall. It was last night, so today is the 20th, so it was on yesterday the 19th that he put it on there. I didn't write it down. I can probably look it up on my phone, and then as I do my description, write it in there. I highly recommend that you listen to this video. Even though you may not want to hear about it, it's going to make a lot of sense to you, and you're going to start looking, going, oh my gosh, I've seen that before. And now you're going to see these things. You're going to understand them more. The thing that I learned from it that I did not know, and you may say, well, this is not important. You know how you watch these horror movies, and they're exorcising the person. They'll say, she's got 50 demons in her. Well, I always thought that where are they all at? I'm a weirdo, okay? I'm thinking, where are they all at? All right, he was saying that the demon does not possess your soul, which I know. They cannot have your soul. That's your soul. Now, you can lose your soul, but you can't just give it to a demon and the demon gets to keep it. And they want your soul because they don't have one. That's just a whole nother subject, and I'm not going to try to get too much into that. But I'm just going to give you a little bit of what I want you to learn from the two things that I wanted to split up today. And I'm trying to do it in a compassed video. So he was saying that they actually possess parts of your body. And I was saying, now, that makes sense to me. So you may have one demon that will possess your mind. You may have another demon that possesses your throat. You may have another demon that possesses your lungs. So if they're possessing different parts of your body, and you start to think about all the different things that you've got lymph nodes, you got all kinds of things going on, not just besides your organ. So there is a possibility you could have a lot of different things in there. And that's because they possess those things. And he was explaining how they learn what they've possessed. He says because he can make them take like a cross and put it to whatever area is possessed. And then he knows what he needs to focus on to work that demon out. Now, the other interesting thing that he talks about is how back in around the 1960s, around that era, he said that there was a increase of people being possessed. He said that the priests that did the exorcisms back then are pretty much all dead now, so he can't get with all of them to figure out what they noticed that was going on different, if it was around the same year, the same month. But he said there was an absolute increase. Not only was there an increase of possession starting around in 1960, it was also much harder to get the demons out of people. Now that could be, and I'm just thinking, because I didn't listen to all of the video. My cat's going to get up here. I apologize. And there she goes. Thank you so much. Thank you. They can't see me. And thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. That's just my cat that's almost 20 years old. She's really old. And I got her completely healthy by using my own concoction of vitamins and minerals that I make myself. And this is a 20-year-old cat. She does not look 20. You can't really see how shiny her fur is and how soft. But let me see if I can lift her up. See how fat she is? She's extremely healthy. But she's old. And she wants me to hold her all the time. So I'm thinking around that time is when they started doing a lot more of the drugs. The CIA started pushing a lot more of the drugs. More of that stuff was going on. Now, if you listen to him, he also talks about how the human trafficking and the drinking of a certain blood that comes from a certain part of the body. He talks about that. He talks about how you can make a pact, but it's really not a legal obligation, because in order for it to be legal, you have to have a body, and because they are just spirit, they cannot legally, I know it sounds funny, but I'm just trying to explain the best way I can, legally abide by anything that they say. So that's why they're liars. So that's like where it says, well, if you do this, I'll give you all the money you've ever had. And then all of a sudden these people never really get it. It's because the demons are liars. That's what they do. They lie. They use you. They lie. There's many people who are dabbling in this stuff. So he talks a lot about that. That's why I'm saying it's good to listen to this. He was also talking about, which I had never heard before, and I'm very interested in it, and I may do my own research on it. John Lennon supposedly sold his soul to the devil to become famous. We already have seen videos, because I've posted them on there, about John Lennon, where he says that he was bigger than Jesus and all this other things. The symbolism, the one eye, or the 666 things. We already know that was rampant in the Beatles. But apparently, his assassination was, I believe they said, on December 8th, which is the day of, and I forget what it's called, but it has to do with Mary. That's Jesus' mother. Not only did he die on that day, because they'll tell you how much time you have. And then when your time is up, that's when you die. And most people don't want to die. That's where you get a lot of these movies where they're running from the devil. This is where they'll send out the hellhounds to chase you down, things like that. Well, Diamondback from Pantera, if I'm saying that right, actually died on December 8th. He was killed by a fan, just like John Lennon. And the guy who shot John Lennon claims that he don't know what happened to him. He was used by a demon to do the demon's bid. Doesn't mean that he kept the demon or he was still possessed afterwards. But I've never really dug too deep into that guy to know the whole story about it. Okay, dog, cat, you're heavy. But I did find that to be interesting, that Diamondback and John Lennon both died on the same day. Not the same day, but you know what I'm saying, December 8th. Interesting. So that may be some fun stuff to go down. And I mean, he mentioned about Jimi Hendrix. So that might be something just to kind of look into, to see how many of them died on December 8th and how many, how old they were. That's just something if you're bored and you want something to do. So I thought that was it. So there was a lot of interesting things that was brought up in the video. I highly recommend that you listen to it. It's going to be about an hour long. It doesn't matter if you're not Catholic. It doesn't matter what religion you are. You're going to get something out of this that you're going to look at, and it's going to pertain to things that are going on right now. And it's going to make a whole lot of sense. He talks a little bit about the transhuman, about the Baphomet, and explains a lot of that. They talk a little bit about angels. So there's a whole lot of stuff that they cover in there, and it's important, guys. Now, the one thing that I think, which is, hold on a second. I think I ate too much. There we go. The one thing that I think was interesting was the, where was I going with it? I had watched a movie, The Fifth Kind, and it talks about a woman whose husband dies in Alaska, and he was counseling people that were having these strange dreams, and they believed that they were being abducted by aliens and stuff. Well, he ends up just disappearing and dying. So this woman picks up his work, and then she starts connecting the dots, which ended up leading her to the Samaritans, which ended up leading her to the Anunnaki. And in this movie, they abduct her daughter, I believe, and she channels them. And when she's possessed, and these other people, and they actually show some of the video clippings of these people being possessed, and it looks like they're possessed by a demon. It is on YouTube. If you you can rent a movie from YouTube. I highly recommend you look at it. It's creepy as all. It is creepy as all. These people's heads bend, their mouths open up. They're like, ah, they're like screaming, and they're like, you know, moving like that, just like you would see in a horror movie. So it shows you clips of actual people being possessed by these aliens, and then it shows you the actor portraying, and it flips back and forth, and it is all out creepy. So I had wondered that if maybe some people that were being possessed maybe were from that. Now, he doesn't talk so much about aliens, then that's fine. But I'm bringing it up because I saw that movie, and a lot of movies don't creep me out. That one creeps me out. It really creeps me out. So you need to watch it. Not because I want you to be creeped out, because I need you to understand what I'm talking about better. But she ends up, because she bends backwards, and she's all bending ways that you normally should not bend, that you just don't do. She breaks her back, and she ends up being paralyzed. And at the end of the movie, they show you the actual woman, and she's in a wheelchair. And she ended up losing both of her kids. And she never did get her daughter back. And her son just wanted nothing to do with her, so he left. The cat's coming back up here. So that was just really creepy. So you're going to listen to this stuff. You're going to say, okay, this is going on. So now I understand why these certain people are doing this. I understand why maybe this person's doing this. Now I understand why this happens or that happens. Now I understand how you can get possessed. You don't necessarily have to be a bad person. Okay? This is why I tell everyone every day, you have to ask God to forgive you for your sins, and you need to do this every day, because you're coming in contact with so many different things, not just the things that they put in the air, in our food, that we breathe, that we drink. You're coming in contact with people who may be jealous of you, who may envy you, who want to cause you harm, and they will channel the dark magic and ask the darker things from the lower vibrations to, you know, make your hair fall out, you know, make your boyfriend leave you, all kinds of stuff. And you may notice that some of these things have happened to you, and you're like, well, I didn't ask for this. I'm a good person. And a majority of people that this happens to are great, wonderful Christian people, but they don't know what's going on. So this can help explain maybe if you're having some of these problems. That's what I'm saying. You're going to learn so much from this video. And you need to understand this, because when we do this Great Awakening, all of these negative, lower vibration creatures that are here, they're going to move on, and it's going to be leveled and balanced out. So it's not that it completely goes away, because you can't just have good and not have any bad, because it's out of balance. You've got to have some bad, but it needs to be balanced. It doesn't need to be like this or like this or anything. And it definitely doesn't need to be doing this, because that's where you get this, ooh, what's going on? You know, that kind of thing where you feel wibbly wobbly and dizzy all the time. So you need to understand that we need to be like this. As long as we're both, you know what I'm saying, good, bad, it's all staying. It needs to stay like that. It doesn't need to be off. So you can't get rid of all the bad. It's going to be here. This is where we, get it, we learn from all of these things, and we do not do them anymore. We teach our children not to do them. We teach our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. And we make sure that people don't want to do these things, because there's just too much love, kindness, all that stuff, that people won't be envy or jealous or hateful anymore. If we don't do it right, then all of this bad stuff will come back. It will come back. Do you want to go through this again? I don't. This has been god awful. I don't want to go through this again. So this is why we have to learn all of the subjects that make us uncomfortable, that we don't want to talk about, that we've never even thought that we needed to learn about. And I'm probably one of the only ones who continuously goes on here and talks about this. Now you have the revealed report, who goes on to these subjects, and you should go on their channel on YouTube and start listening to some of their videos and educate yourself, because they've actually either been on that side or they were born into that side and they got out. So they know a whole lot more than I could ever educate you on. I'm not an expert at it. I'm not claiming to be. That's why I'm telling you to reference to these other videos. But I'm trying to tell you that you need to go down these paths, because these are things, believe it or not, that we're going to learn about. You're going to understand why they eat human meat. You're going to learn why they want to drink all that blood. You're going to learn why they do these magic spells. You're going to learn how they did it. If you haven't gone down the rabbit hole of King Solomon, you really need to read a little bit about King Solomon and understand, because King Solomon captured each and every one of these demons, and he learned their names, and he learned exactly what they do. There's some really good videos out there that are probably about 15 minutes long, and you can listen to about 3 of them a day. Educate yourself. Learn about these things. And the reason why you need to know this, because then you can spot things. You can understand things. You'll know what things not to do. You'll understand when you walk into a situation, you're like, oh, wait a second. I don't like what's going on here. I better get out. Because you can walk into somebody's home that does bad things, and that evil attached to you from that way. That's why you don't mess around at graveyards. You don't play at graveyards. You don't do that. You don't go into places that are considered haunted and say, "Show me where you are." You don't do that either, because you're going to piss somebody off and they're going to come home with you. And I'm not joking. I don't like all those shows, these ghost hunter things. They're asking to be possessed. Probably why they don't last very long on TV, because they did get possessed. You don't aggravate spirits. You don't go on to Indian graveyards and aggravate them, because that's some bad medicine doing that. You don't do that stuff. So we've got to learn what happens when you do these things, why you don't do these things, why you need to honor the dead and respect the dead. Leave the dead alone. Don't be messing with them. I understand if you love somebody and they passed away and you miss them, that's one thing. But dancing butt naked on their grave or something, singing Tiptoe to the Tulips, is probably not a very good idea. These are the kind of things we have got to stop, but we have to educate ourselves so we know why we should be doing those things, what could possibly happen, and if it happens, what you need to do to get yourself out of this mess. Now, we are also going to learn that we are more powerful than we could have ever imagined. Now, when I say this, please understand, it doesn't matter how many gifts you have, how strong your gifts are. You are you. You are never a god. And I get tired of hearing other truthers or other psychics or people that are new age trying to tell people, and if you do this, you're going to become a god. No, you're not. You have gods in you, gods. You have gods in you, his love in you, but you will never be God. Just like you will never be Jesus Christ. Your goal is to be as much like Jesus every day and to strive to do even better. That's your goal. You can sit here and channel that light. And while I did that, that thing moved. That was crazy. Anyway, you can make things move, but that doesn't make you a god. I can use my telepathy and talk to you, but it does not make me a god. So get that out of your mind. It does not make you a god because you would be able to do these things. It just means that you're more in tune with your vibration, with your energy. You're ascending, but you will never be God. Never. These scientists that are doing cloning and taking splicing DNA from all different animals to come up with their own creation are trying to be gods, because God creates. Now, that does not mean that people that are mothers that have given birth to children are gods. No, that's usually where people consider them a goddess, because they do give life, but they're not God. Does that make sense? It's really kind of hard to explain it, but when you think about it, you understand deeper what I mean. You will never be God. I don't care who promises you that you'll be a God. You will never be a God. You should never consider yourself a God. You do not tell people to worship you because you are God-like, because you are not. You're not. You are you. You may have gifts, you may have ascended, you may have special abilities, but you'll never be a God. And I don't care how many special abilities you get. You can shoot fireworks out of your nostril, but you will not be God. So anyone who tells you that, oh, when you get these gifts, you'll be a God, no, you will not. You will still be you. You will still be you. You need to be humble. You need to realize that, and you should know your place. Your place is not to be God. I wouldn't want that job. I don't want that job. If God came down and said, you know what, Jackie, I want you to be God for 24 hours, I'd say, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to be a God. Just like I don't want to be a manager at the store I work with. I'll do a lot of things. I know a lot of things, but I don't want to be a manager. I don't want it. I want to have my own business, be my own boss, be in control of myself. That's what I want. But no. So when I say these things, please do not think that I am telling you you're going to be a God. So I wanted to stress that one out there too. So now you've got a little bit of homework. I want you to look at this video, Dr. Taylor Marshall. And you're going to see the one where he talks about the exorcist priest. He has other videos in there where he's talked to other people that have done exorcisms or been around possessions and stuff. You need to understand that. And he also shows you a video of people that are possessed. It is happening. And the cat, no, don't look at me like that. No, nobody wants to see your butt move. So you're seeing more and more people acting really strange, mumbling, wandering around. Maybe their eyes are completely dark. You do have people that are possessed right now. There's a lot of evil going on, and don't think there's not. Learning this is going to bring you closer to God. And if you weren't close to God, after you start learning this stuff, you'll be wanting to be sitting next to God continuously. God, can I just go with you everywhere? Don't leave me. That's kind of how you're going to be, and that's how you should be. It's going to make you more humble, and you're going to understand a whole lot more. You'll appreciate things that you have, and you'll understand everything that we're going through is nothing compared to some of these children. You're also going to understand why you don't need to be full of ego. You're going to understand that, and then you'll understand when I say you got to let your ego go. You just gotta let it go. You understand why you think that you need all these homes and all this XRP. And you get closer to God, you realize, no, I don't need all that. So it's gonna humble you some. And everybody needs to be humbled a little bit. Even I need to be humbled more. Give you a story of what happened to me today at Walmart when I got off work. So I worked a really long day today. What had happened, some boxes of clothes were found. We don't sell clothes. We sell refrigerators and stoves and flooring and carpet and lights and all that different stuff. We don't sell clothes, but our CEO, GM manager, opened up where vendors can come in, and they've been bringing clothes. It's a pain in the butt. So anyway, this one particular vendor never did send the shelving that needed to hang all these clothes up. So they stayed in boxes on a shelf. Well, months down the road, and we're talking months down the road, all of a sudden, all of these products that were in this box that were not being sold got marked down. T-shirts for $7. I mean, vest for $13. Nice stuff, guys. Really nice stuff. So we found the paperwork of the pricing that was marked down, and I was like, this has got to go on clearance. And I'm like, well, we're just going to do that, and then I'll do my signage, because I had already scanned the store, the IRPs. That's just the inventory report. And I did that folding, hanging, selling, trying to get as many people walking by the clearance rack to buy stuff, because there was so much stuff and I didn't want to leave today with all of that stuff. So I sold almost all of it, guys. I do not like selling a lot of stuff. I don't go out of my way to do it, but because it needed to be done, I went out of my way. I kicked butt today. Now, I didn't get rid of all of it, but I got rid of almost all of it. And that was just a lot of work, talking with people, interacting, hey, this is over here. Oh, this looks great on you. And I was being honest, because it really did look really, that vest looked really good on this guy. Older gentleman, sweet as can be, bless his heart. Made sure all the employees had an opportunity to see what was there, because we got paid today, and I wanted to make sure that all the employees, was able to get something if they wanted to. And got a lot of hugs and kisses on the cheek today, because no one ever does that for anybody. When we find things that are marked down really low, usually the person that finds it keeps their mouth shut. And it'll either buy it all themselves to resell, like on eBay or at a yard sale or something, or they give them to their friends or whatever. I didn't do that. I told everybody in the store. I told the management, I said, look, I'm cleaning it up, I'm organizing it, and then let everybody get an opportunity to come over here and buy what they want. I said, because I would like the employees to be able to have this opportunity since we got paid today, because sometimes guests come in when they see things that are marked down really low, they'll buy it all. They may not even need it, but they'll buy it, and they sell it. Maybe some of these people, this prevents them from having to stop at the other store to, get a shirt or, a vest or something. So I did that. So I stayed till 11:30 today. Oh, it was from 4 a.m. to 11:30 with no break. No break, no lunch break, nothing. No. I only went to the bathroom like 3 times. That was it. Okay, guys, it was, So I did it. I'm not doing that every day. There's no way. And they could not even offer me a position to sell things. I'm not going to be surprised tomorrow if I ended up where I was made the most money throughout the store. I would not be shocked, because I was selling some stuff, guys. I wanted to get rid of it. That's just all it was. But I was being kind and I was being nice about it. I really wanted my fellow workers to get in on the deal, because not only did we buy it at the half off price, we also still got our employee discount on top of it. So, why not? Why not? Why not spread the wealth? Why not be nice? Be kind. Go out of your way. And that's what I did today. So I did my good deed. I got lots of hugs from it. And even my manager said, oh, you did really good. You almost got rid of everything. So, I'm just tired, and I'm just a little aggravated, and I'm scatterbrained a little bit. So, but that's what I did today. But anyway, as I was saying, now I remember where I was going. I went to Walmart because I needed to go get some more cat food. I wanted to make sure I had enough stuff, because I'm hoping that we go ahead and we get locked down here after this weekend. Gee whiz, can we just do it? Can we just do it? So I wanted to make sure I had cat food and a few other things. And I'm pushing my buggy because I'm always courteous of everybody around me. And I'm by myself. There wasn't anybody where I was at. I needed to get cat litter. Now, I'm only 4'11". So I take my buggy. I had it over just a little to the side, and I'm between the shelf and my buggy. I'm standing in between it, right? And I'm reaching on my tiptoes trying to grab this big container of cat litter. And if you've ever picked up a big container of cat litter, shit is heavy. And I'm up on my tiptoes trying to wiggle it down so I can grab the handle. And this woman bumps into my buggy, and as I'm like leaning this way off the shelf so I can kind of grab it, she goes, "Excuse me, can you just move your buggy?" And I'm doing like this, and I'm holding the cat litter, and I look over. I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Do you not see what I'm trying to get off the shelf that's over my head? This hangs heavy." I said, "Give me just a second." "No, you need to move your buggy now." She could have got around me. There was enough room to get around me, okay? I come unglued. I said, "Are you friggin' kidding me, you bitch?" I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "You are going to wait and let me get this down and put it in a buggy because it's heavy." She goes, "You're an idiot." I said, "I'm an idiot because I'm buying cat litter?" She says, "You're an idiot." I said, "And you're a bitch." Shame on me. I didn't care. This woman. So, yes, they're everywhere. She could have backed her buggy up and went on the side of it. Okay, granted, I don't look my age. Yes, she did look a little bit older than me. She probably thought I was in my 20s or my early 30s, and probably thought I was a kid, and probably thought that I was going to bow down to her because she could have been my grandmother, when technically she probably just could have been my mother. She didn't realize how old I was, I'm sure. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, and you don't do it either. If you are trying to grab something and it's friggin' heavy and you've got your fingertips on it and you just about got it off the shelf and someone says stop what you're doing to move your buggy, you keep what you're doing. These people got to stop it. They got to stop. Just stop. And I did yell at her. I said, you know what, ma'am? I'm over you and you damn liberals. I said, I'm over you. And I just kept on going. I said, stay away from me. Can you believe that? Other than everybody else in the store was nice. And as I'm doing my buggy, I said, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get around you. I was still being polite. I got something to eat. I went to the restaurant. And the girl was very kind. And I thanked her. I said, thank you so much for being so kind to me. And she laughed. She says, it's okay. I said, well, I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate it. Because after being yelled at by Karen, because I'm an idiot for buying cat litter, I needed some kindness. I couldn't believe it. I don't cuss at people. I don't call people bitches. But she pushed my button. She really did. I was like, what? And I was like, demons. Just demons. They're everywhere. So do know that you will come across some people that may be not fully possessed, but they might have someone attached to them that might be making them do that. I have no idea why that woman came out of nowhere and bumped her buggy into me when she clearly had enough room to get around me, and wanted me to stop getting cat litter off the top shelf that I was straining to get, that was heavy, to let me know that I'm an idiot. So, with that, watch these videos. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me anytime. Let's pray that it is this weekend. Now, Trump does have a rally Saturday. This doesn't mean that because he has a rally that it won't happen. I can't see it. It drives me crazy, so I don't know. Ew. That was nasty. You sneezed on me. You put a cat booger on me. And look, you had a cat booger on my phone. This is so gross. I'm going to change my shirt. When we're done, I've been told I'm an idiot, and now I've got cat booger on me. Is this a great day? It's lovely. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and get off here because we don't even know what else is going to happen. So, like I said, just keep your spirits up. Keep praying. I know we're getting to the end of this. I'm watching everything unfold, what's going on with the other countries. I will continue to do this, continue to monitor. Reach out to me anytime. If I don't get back to you immediately, I will get back to you. I promise. Have a wonderful day. So sorry I'm scatterbrained, but you kind of understand where I've been, what I've been through today, and as you can see, what I'm still going through. So, don't know what else is going to happen today. Should be very interesting. So with that, y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.